I'm very much opposed to nuclear weapons. I was not so strongly opposed in my very early days in working with the Atomic Energy Authority, because I really did have a hope, which was shared by a great many people far more knowledgeable than me, that horrific as nuclear weapons were, they might at least keep the peace and prevent another war. And that seemed to be worth it. But I now am much less convinced of their value as a deterrent, and I am totally opposed to their use operationally. I don't think there ever has been any justifiable operational use of nuclear weapons, because their effects are such that they are disproportionate to almost any objective. If you look at what was done in 1945, when two very small nuclear weapons were dropped on two Japanese cities, and you see what the effects were. One bomb dropped from a single plane flying high over the city destroyed Hiroshima in seconds, in firestorms, blast and fallout, and thousands of people died, not only at the time, but of the after effects for years to come. Now that is disproportionate to any war aim that I can think of, and that was just the result of one small bomb. We now have large stockpiles of nuclear weapons in existence in the world, and there is no conceivable use for them. If you say they are not operational weapons, but they are valuable as a deterrent, I am not convinced by that at all either. I used to believe in deterrence, but my experience, what I have learned over the years, and learning not merely from theory, but seeing history unfold and seeing what the effect has been, what nuclear weapons have done and have failed to do, convinced me that deterrence is a delusion. I think nuclear weapons are a somewhat overlooked danger today as far as the general population is concerned. We went through a period of great public anxiety, almost panic about the dangers of nuclear weapons during the Cold War. But one of the characteristics of the human beings is that they cannot bear very much reality, and if things are extremely unpleasant, they may be absolutely revolted or panic-stricken for a time, and then they get used to it, because you can't maintain that level of anxiety and fear. So they just get used to it. It just becomes part of everyday life. It just becomes part of almost like the wallpaper. And I'm very much afraid that that is when things become dangerous. And also they become dangerous when you have decision makers who are not experienced and who do not understand what they are dealing with. I've always felt much safer when we had ministers and prime ministers like Heath and Healy in the government, because they knew about war from first-hand experience and they behaved accordingly. But now one feels that they do not know what they are talking about, they do not know what they are dealing with, and that is a very dangerous situation, I think. I think they would too easily take nuclear weapons for granted and forget exactly what is involved.